Welcome, everyone, to the Two Takes podcast. I am your host, David Ohan, joined by my co-host, Big Mason Strang. Mason, how are we feeling today?
I'm doing great, having a great day.
It's great to hear, Mason. And we got you in the house, the new house in Alpharetta. Mason, how does it feel to be in person for the first time instead of just over the phone or over the computer?
It's way better. It was way harder to organize this, but it's definitely better in person for sure.
I know I can at least feel your vibes and see how wrong your takes could be or how good they feel. But let's jump into the first segment. Timberwolves versus the Spurs. Spurs take down the Timberwolves, winning 4-2 in 6 games. Mason, what are your thoughts on this series? And coming off the Timberwolves, what's the biggest disappointment from them?
I don't know, honestly. Timberwolves, I would say after watching their series before, I really thought they could really take this, but I think that loss to DiVincenzo really hurt him, and DeSumo didn't step up enough like he did in the previous matchups, and Ant was just really, really hurt, and he could only do so much against a crazily defensively good Spurs team.
100%. I agree with you. I think Timberwolves, you got to go somewhere. This team has no trade capital. They have no, draft capital. They traded all their picks away for Randall and DiVincenzo in that trade. I don't know where you go with this team. I really don't. I think Rudy Gobert has to go. Yes, he's a great defender, but he's not worth 40 what is he getting paid? 45, 50 million? I just don't think he's worth that. And then Julius Randle was ass in the playoffs. Absolutely awful. He went 1 for 8 shooting before being benched during the blowout loss, and the veteran forward just averaged 12.8 points per game in the playoffs while shooting only 34.2% from the field and 19% from three. And when you have a guy that's known as a bucket getter and has elevated his career, and he just shoots like that, I don't think it's worth it. I think you can get much better players out of it. And I think Jaden McDaniels, he elevated his, trade stock. But I don't know what you do. You may have to do some package because, yes, that core 7 is fun. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Ayo, DiVincenzo, McDaniels, Bones Highland if you want to keep him, Gobert. That's a fun core. It's not a core that can win. 100% is not a core that can win. I don't think they can be fun to compete, but they won't win. You're not going to beat the Thunder. Thunder are too deep. Can't believe they have Jared McCain on their team, which is still nuts. You got the Spurs, who are the youngest and the ripest they'll be. So if they win a championship this year, they're only going to get better. You competed with the Nuggets, which, okay, but there's just other teams I just don't feel like you're going to compete with those top tier teams.
Yeah, I agree completely. They definitely need to make some big changes because they've been trying to win, and they've been right there, but the West is just getting better and better every year, and they're kind of staying stagnant. I mean, that Jaden McDaniels, him stepping up, is definitely improving year over year. I think eventually he'll be second, third option on their team for real in a title team. But, yeah, Randall, I mean, I just don't think he's a good playoff player. I think he's too inefficient and ineffective in the way he plays, especially in the playoffs. And having him be your second scorer and first scorer at sometimes against a Wemby-led team, that's just not going to lead to good offense or many points being scored.
No, 100%. And I just want to, let's not take too much credit away because this Spurs team came out to play. They lost game 1. They adjusted. They blew them out in game 2. Game 3, I believe they won. Then Wemby gets thrown out of game 4. And Stephon Castle, and I'm going to say this guard play. I know Stephon led with 20 points per game in this series. You had Wemby with close to 20, but then you had Fox, 17.7, Harper, 14.7, and then Vassell with 12.3. It's just the guards, what they create. And right now, the Spurs are playing the Thunder. Series currently tied 1-1 as we're filming this. And I believe Fox hasn't came back yet, and Harper just went down. And just how much they did and how much they're doing right now is such a big play. And I think that opens up the space for arguably the best player in the world right now, which I believe is Victor Wembanyama. And you can argue with me on that, but how much he changes the game for anybody is just insane, especially the defending champs.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think he's definitely the most impactful player in the history of the NBA that I've ever watched. I mean, it's crazy how teams don't even try to shoot floaters, layups, anything inside the paint, and they're constantly just shooting threes, kicking out, and they're not even getting rebounds either because he's getting all the rebounds too. I've never seen a player have that type of impact. And then obviously he can do everything on the offensive end, and he elevates all the other guards, all those young guards that are inexperienced and need that support.
100%. And I think I think this series kind of covered all too well. Hopefully, the Timberwolves can make some adjustments. I believe they'll trade or maybe sign some guys, but they don't want to hit that second apron, which they're close to. Who do you think goes? Who do you think gets moved off that team if you had to pick one player?
I think Nas Reed's got to go. I mean, they kept him last year, and I think that was a wrong decision. He wasn't bad during the regular season, but I just don't think he's a title he's not a important player on a title contending team, and I just don't think he shot well enough, showed up well enough in the playoffs this year, and he didn't last year either. So I also think they have a pretty I like their young guys. Like I really love Shannon, and he really didn't get any playing time until that DiVincenzo injury, and I think he needs a bigger role. I know his defense isn't very good, but you just see him out on the court, and I always think he plays really hard, and he's always trying out there.
100%. If I had to pick a player, I'm going to pick a package. Get Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle out of there. I just think there's so much more value. How much I believe Julius Randle's getting paid close to $30 million, and someone like that salary, but I hated it. I don't think he's worth $30 million. I think he's worth a cool $20 million, especially if you're going to put up those points. I think you got to get rid of both of them. I don't hate Rudy Gobert. He's just worth way too much, and I don't think he's worth that price. But
yeah, I agree. I think players like Rudy Gobert are kind of getting phased out of the league just on a title contending team because you need, especially in the playoffs, you need that open space and you need driving areas for the kickouts. As you can see, the Thunder, that's all Shea does: drive, kick out, wide open threes every time. And having a player like Gobert on the court takes away that completely because you can't drive as well.
100%. And do you want to jump into this next series?
Yeah.
Thunder versus Lakers. The LA Lakers, the LeBron-led Lakers, as anybody wants to call it. The King Lakers get swept 4-0. Absolute belt to ass is what I'd call it. Lakers fought hard, where I believe in a few of those games, maybe 2 or 3 of those games, they were up by 1 or more going into halftime, and I think they just they're low too early. I think they came out too fast, and I think they came out too strong. I think they just left it all out there too early, but I think they were injured. I think they were too old. I think they were they're just out. Like LeBron said, they're out-talented, but I think they just hit the gas and just gassed out. And I think this Oklahoma City Thunder team proved why they're the champs. I think this Lakers team, maybe if they had Luka, they could force Game 5 or Game 6. But I think when you're down that many players, you got a 42, 43-year-old that's leading you in points, a lot of assists and rebounds. I just think he doesn't have enough stamina and gas tank to just withhold all of that. Mason, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I really didn't watch much of this series. I knew it just wasn't close. Unless Luka played, Lakers had no chance whatsoever. I don't understand this complaining about the refs because Austin Reeves and LeBron got the exact same calls that the Thunder did, and it's kind of ridiculous. LeBron has started this whole trend of players not even really trying to score, but just drawing fouls, and for him to start complaining like that when you literally said you really don't have a good chance at all of winning the series, and then putting the blame kind of on that is crazy in my opinion.
100%. Who do you think spent more time on the floor, SGA or LeBron, Mason?
In his career, obviously LeBron, but this year, definitely SGA.
Or last night, you were SGA.
I wasn't on the floor that much.
I beg to differ. I think almost every play I felt like you were on the floor for no reason.
I mean, I was tripped a lot. But that's besides the point.
Yeah. But AJ, is it Ajay? AJ Mitchell. He stepped up big in this series. Out of nowhere. I didn't really know who this kid was. Apparently he's had a pretty good regular season? But that just shows the depth they have. You have a guy that not rarely played, but because due to injuries of J-Dub and other players, these guys played a lot, He averages 22.5 points per game, his first ever conference semifinals, which is nuts. Then you got Big Chet, 20 points per game, even though he's not having a great Western Conference final. And then Jared McCain, who is a guy that I thought could be a great seventh, sixth, eighth man on a team, coming up for the Thunder team and averaging 11.5. And I think Jay just stole. They stole him from Philly. Like, they took highway robbery. When I saw, what was it, a late first-round pick or a second-round pick, what they got for him?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was nothing. It was like, oh, here's a bag of chips, which people thought that's what the Hawks got for Trae Young, which not the case. But this really was a bag of chips for Jared McCain. I thought he's a phenomenal player. I think he was injured most of last year. And I think I just like him. He's young. He's fruity. He knows what to do. He knows how to score. And I just love the emphasis. And this Thunder team, they're a very young team that likes to dance and stuff. And he just fits the culture. Their culture is fruitiness and dancing. And I love to see it. It's a great team. And I think he fits it perfectly. And I think he fits their swagger. And I think he's just another locker room guy and a young kid that just wants to go out there and ball.
Yeah, I agree completely. That was an absolute steal, and the Sixers could have desperately used him. Dysfunctional franchise for sure in Philly, and then Sam Presti is just like the go. I think AJ Mitchell was a second round draft pick or like late first, and the amount of impact he's had in his second year is unreal. I knew last year he was going to be good because he got barely any minutes, and he would always do stuff with his minutes, and he only played like from if there was injuries or something going on. And I knew he was good, but I didn't realize he was capable of doing this night in, night out.
Yeah, this Thunder team, they just draft. They do everything right. I haven't seen one thing they've done wrong recently in the past about like 5 years. Even when they traded for Paul George, they did that right with even getting Shea. Yeah. I just remember always seeing baby Shea on 2K at like a 78 overall, and he'd always jump up to this great player. But I'm like, who the hell is this kid? And then just goes to show, best player in that draft class. But I think the biggest question I want to take away from this series is not even really to do with the basketball, is where does LeBron go? Where do you think LeBron is done? You think he stays in LA, or do you think he goes on to another team?
He needs to retire, in my opinion. But I think he might go to Cleveland. I don't know how they're going to get him, but I think that's just going to be his. I think he said he doesn't want a farewell tour, but like I think that's basically going to be it. He's going to go back home, spend one more year with his hometown team, and see where it goes from there. Because he's still going to put up great numbers. Like he's still a very complete player, even though he's regressed for sure. But I think maybe 1 or 2 more. I think he's done with that Bronny stuff. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, he's only still in the league because he wants to play with Bronny. Bryce isn't getting the league, so he's never going to play with Bryce. He's not good enough whatsoever. So I think maybe 1 more year in Cleveland, and then it'll be done.
I think you're 100% right. I believe this. He wants to. I listened to his podcast, Mind the Game, or
yeah, I think it's Mind.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big LeBron fan, but he's one of the smartest players I've ever heard. His IQ is crazy. I give him all his credit. LeBron is old as shit. He really is. Him and Aaron Rodgers are going to retire probably the same year. I don't believe for a second LeBron does not want a farewell tour. I'm sorry. I've heard some bigger lies in life and been manipulated too many times to believe that he is not going to want a farewell tour. This guy, he always talks about how he's the face of the league, how I'm this guy. And like never mind, that's not a good part to bring up. But just during any time in the NBA, any political stuff going on, he always is the forefront, and he always says, like, oh, I'm speaking for everybody. He's going to want a farewell tour. He wants his fireworks. He also said he doesn't want to go to a losing team. I think if he really wants to do it, he really wants to win, go to Cleveland, go sign a veteran minimum, and try to go win with that team. Because LeBron is still good. He's not great.
He'll never sign a veteran minimum. He doesn't even know what those words are. He's like, I'm above that for sure. And also, he doesn't care about winning anymore either. He's already done all the winning.
You don't think he'd want to win one more? What's the point of coming back?
I think he would, but he's not like desperate. I mean, why would you stay in LA?
But how would
they haven't won shit in forever?
That's what I'm saying. He's going to go to Cleveland and sign a veteran.
They also haven't won.
But look at the team. They're in the conference finals with James Harden.
Yeah, I think he would definitely help them, but I don't see Cleveland like. don't know. I just can't see them. I think their team would change. There's no way they would keep the same team they have right now and just add LeBron. I feel like that's not possible.
I think anything is possible, like Jason Tatum
Like
said.
Jason, like Jason Tatum copied.
Nah, Jason Tatum created it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Shout out KG. But on to the next series, Knicks versus 76ers. And I believe, did you say the 76ers would win or you say the Knicks going? No, you said Knicks in 7.
I said Knicks in 7. Yeah. I mean, I got one of it right, but
You got one of them right. Knicks sweep the 76ers, shooting a huge, just hot 25 threes. They tied for the post any team in the playoff game. And most made, 25 threes, most made by any playoff team in a game. Knicks on fire, lights out. Sixers were shooting 8 for 35 from 3 on Sunday, and that was a huge differential. Knicks blew them out. Knicks closeout game, blew out the Hawks by 51. Believe they blew out the Sixers close to 40. Where do you think this Knicks team is, and how do they elevate? Like, do you think there is more elevate? Are they the hottest team in basketball right now? And I guess they took 7 days off.
yeah. I mean, I really don't think they can get any better than they are right now. I think they're, without a doubt, a title contending team. But I mean, the shooting it has to cool down. It just did in game 1 of their series against the Cavs, but it's been unreal. They look unbeatable. And the only way you beat them is really just. Also, I'm not gonna lie, they did have some easy matchups. Like the Hawks was a pretty easy matchup for them, considering how not playoff ready the Hawks offense is. And then the Sixers didn't have Embiid for most of it, and they really don't have any scoring outside of Maxey. So it was just another easy matchup for the Knicks, in my opinion.
100% when you have PG playoff P on your team, always an easy matchup against them. But I think what this Knicks team did great. Celtics, your big men, your star big men. Just kidding. Your role players, Nemi, Luka Garza, and Vucevic, didn't make Embiid run. The cat, the big purr, made them run. They made Embiid run. Embiid was hobbled. Embiid was a knight in shining armor that was dying. He was penetrated. He was defeated. He was taken down. And I'm telling you, the Knicks just wore him down when he was already done. He was on his last leg, and they just took it to him. Kind of just gave up. They kind of really did. And then they went into Philly, and took over that building. There was more Knicks fans than Sixers fans. When is the last time you seen anybody take over Philadelphia? And I mean, when the Hawks beat them, they didn't take over their stadium. It was just nuts. It was just nuts to me. I think 76ers, they're in purgatory. They really are. Where do the 76ers go at least? Do you get rid of Embiid? You're going to stay like this forever if you keep him.
I don't know. I mean, I've started to like Embiid. I really didn't like him before, but I feel bad for like the way Philly treated him. Like they really just like ignored all his injuries, and his legs are so bad now. I don't know what they do. They're never gonna get like a high pick because Maxey's too good. And what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I don't know. I just don't see the Sixers getting any better, and also the front office is really bad. They just fired the guy that was there that traded McCain. So maybe they get a good manager, general manager, whatever. But I mean, I don't like Philly teams at all. So this is a good sign.
I mean,
I enjoy this.
The Phillies are hot right now, though.
Yeah, they are. They are.
You think they're the best team in baseball?
What?
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. No, the Sixers. You got Embiid, who's broken down, beaten down, whose knees are messed up. You got to get that guy some knee pads at some point. And then you got Paul George with his awful contract. Like, why'd you sign Paul George to that shitty deal? I just don't know where this team goes. I've seen landing spots. Mason, what are your top 3 landing spots for Joel Embiid next year?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't really see him. Is he guaranteed leaving Philly? Like
It's
everyone
not
thinks that.
guaranteed, but
I
I've
don't think
seen.
Philly moves on from him.
I think if you want to win, you got to move on from Embiid.
But you want to get something for him too.
I've seen places like Golden State, Miami.
I don't know where Embiid fits.
Curry and Embiid would be pretty dirty. Like that's a dirty, dirty duo.
I don't know. I just think Embiid is a number one option. I think I don't really see him being a number two unless it's like. But Maxi's also a number one option. Like I don't know. I really don't understand, but hopefully he wins somewhere because he's getting up there, and I don't think he's got much longer.
How much? Let me look this up right now. How many years does he have left on his contract?
Not sure.
If he only has 1 or 2 years left, it's 3 years, 192.9 million maximum.
Yeah, he's not. I don't know.
2 years left, and if he kind of regresses, I think the Hawks should trade for him. Have a 7-footer. I know that's crazy.
He doesn't fit alongside Jalen though.
But it's Joel Embiid. When you have a guy like Joel Embiid, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Really doesn't matter.
It's just another injury-prone big like Kristaps.
That is true.
But Kristaps would have helped us really a lot in that Knicks series. I don't know. I don't see him like unless we really change our offense, he doesn't fit on us whatsoever.
I think we have to change our offense, though, to win.
Yeah, agreed. But we also need that. We need that number one scorer, which we don't have.
I think Jalen could get – I think we're just too young. But I think we need that point guard. We need that guard, and we need that we need that footer.
Yeah, we need a guard and a footer for sure. And we need Jalen to take another step.
But I guess that's –
And we can get both of those in the draft.
100%. But now let's jump over to this Cavs versus Pistons series. Cavs blow out the Pistons in 7 games. Hard-fought series. Pistons took the first 2. This Cavs team looked like they were dead in the water. I was like, oh, boy. Another wrong pick by me again, taking this Cavs team. I believed in Donovan Mitchell. They kind of did a whole 180, winning 3 games straight. They never won on the road. Then they go out there and win Game 5, but then they haven't lost at home, and then they go out and lose Game 6. But Game 7, they went on the road again, beating the hell out of the Pistons. Donovan Mitchell played great. Kenny Atkinson looked like a great coach. Harden didn't show up in Game 6. They didn't need to show up in Game 7. How do you feel about this team? Are the Pistons one? What are they away? They're one guy away, or where do you think they go from here? Do you think this is going to be a championship team next year? I know they only had 14 wins. And do you think this was a disappointing season for the Pistons?
I'll answer the last question. It's definitely not a disappointing season. I get, like, yeah, you're number one seed. Oh, you think you might be a title contender. You should be as a number one seed. But I think they were just they did, like I said this at the start. They don't have enough to be a title contender, and Duran he really needs to step up, or he ain't getting. Well, I don't think he's getting that super max by Detroit at least. He might somewhere else, but they definitely need more. Like Cade was really good for almost the whole series, and he still wasn't able to do enough. And they were expecting Duran to help him out, and Duran literally wasn't playable for some games. So I don't know. They need more scoring. I don't know if that's necessarily like a superstar. It's just scoring in general. But also, it just makes you question like the regular season in general, because they dominated that, and they just weren't like that for the playoffs.
No, I agree with you. I would pay Jalen Duran. I really would. I think he's 22 years old. He's 6'10". He wasn't great, but he wasn't awful. I feel like he played a lot better in that second.
There was fourth quarters, though, that he just didn't play, and they won.
I know. He didn't have it like – it's hard to say because I thought there's so much you can improve on. But you can improve the kid. Get him to go work out with some NBA legends. Get him a bag. Because if you get that kid a bag work, it's going to help. I think he's worth it to spend the money on. You can't have Tobias Harris be your second leading scorer, though.
Yeah,
That's the end of the day.
without a doubt, for sure.
I think when you have it come down to that, that really hurts you. That really does having Tobias Harris. And there's nothing wrong with Tobias Harris. He's just not that guy. Plain and simple. Not to be mean, but he's just not that guy. Duncan
Yeah,
Robinson's not that guy.
never has been.
Can we get, is it Amon on their team?
Ashar.
Asar, excuse me. Asar. I like him. But damn it, man, you got to be able to shoot the damn ball. It's the same thing with Dyson Daniels. You got to learn how to shoot the ball because he's great. I love him as a defender. He's young. He's fast. He's versatile. He's not afraid to attack the basket, but you got to be able to shoot the ball because when you have a guy like Jared Allen able to sag off of you, it makes it so much harder for Cade Cunningham to sword. And even then, they took him to 7 games. But I think this Detroit team, you sign Jalen Duren, and I think you go get a bona fide all-star, but a scorer. Like I don't know, maybe even he didn't show up in the play. No, I'm not going to use that as an example. Like an Austin Reeves guy. And the Lakers aren't going to let go of Austin Reeves, but a guy that can just go get you a bucket. Maybe you go try to steal Io DeSuma as a guy like that. Just a guy that's going to get you a bucket because that's all they need. If you have a guy that can get you a bucket and you know is going to score in those moments, that's where this Pistons team kind of struck. Because once I know, it's you. Let's say you're Cade Cunningham. I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack you. I'm going to attack you. Yes, you can score 30 points per game. But when it comes down to it, everybody knows where the ball is. And I think what the Cavs did really well is they played through Donovan Mitchell and they let him play make. And when he did that, I think the first 4 possessions, he had 2 or 3 assists. He looked great already. And I think that Cavs team flows easily. And even though I'm about to give them shit for what they did in Game 1 against the Knicks and how they're losing Game 2 right now, I think the Cavs were phenomenal, and I think the Cavs were the better team, and they really should have won this in maybe 6 games. Want to jump over to the current series that are going on?
Yeah.
All right, Knicks versus Cavs. Knicks currently lead the Cavs 103-86. About to go up 2-0. Last time the Cavs went down 2 games, they ended up winning in 7. Cavs blew a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter, one of the biggest leads ever, especially by their coach, Kenny Atkinson. Mason, what are your thoughts on Game 1? And why the hell is James Harden on Jalen Brunson? I felt bad. I've never felt bad for an NBA superstar, let alone a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the bigger question is, why was he on him for that long? I mean, once they get a 10-0 run, you got to switch the matchup, right? Or like do something. But nah, they just kept going at it. And I knew going into this was a really bad matchup because I don't think the Cavs have any lockdown defenders that they can put on Brunson. And it was gonna have to be a team effort. And in that fourth quarter, they just literally left Harden to guard him the whole time. I have no idea what Atkinson was doing. I mean, you have one job to like make changes, call timeouts, and it seemed like he did nothing because they just kept doing the same thing every time.
You ever heard the lights are too bright or the moment's too big?
Yeah.
Kenny Atkinson, I think, forgot he had some timeouts in his ass. I think he left them on the bus back in Cleveland. Like, sir, 22 points, and you let them cut it down to 6, then you call timeout. Hell no. You call timeout at that point, in my opinion, you call it at 15 to slow it down. If anything, get James Harden off him. Put at least Donovan Mitchell. He's not a great defender.
But
or
he's
even
better than Harden.
It's better than Harden. Make him go at each other. And then if you want to score, I think when you know you have a team up by 22, you are playing to win. You're not playing to win. You're playing not to lose.
You're playing not to lose, yeah.
You get a little scared. You stop shooting the 3 ball. You just try to slow it down. You're not playing your game. You just start sweating. You start getting that swamp ass, and you guys are shaking in your boots. And then you go, oh shit, they're coming back. The next thing you know, it's a tie game. The whole place is erupting. That's what happened. The lights got too bright. James Harden does not need to be on him. And for the Cavs, you're about to lose, go down. It's 86-105, 2-0. What the Hawks did, great. And I don't know still how to this day the Hawks got 2 games on this Knicks team. You got to attack Jalen Brunson. He's not a good defender.
You have to attack him.
He's a little man. He is A little man, he's a baby on defense. He's going to give you a bucket, but don't put it. Let's have a rubber match between who can get scored on the most between James Harden and Jalen Brunson because James Harden's going to lose because Jalen Brunson is a better scorer right now than James Harden.
Yeah.
And I think also Kenny Atkinson probably did one of the worst coaching jobs I've ever seen just as a coach. How the hell? I'm still just shocked watching that game. They're up by 22. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I showered. Next thing I know, it's a 7-point game, and the Knicks are coming back. And it's just like, oh my gosh, they're really going to blow this. And the Knicks are known for choking. Mason,
Yeah.
are the Knicks going to the finals?
I think the Cavs could make it a series. I just like they have the weakness, Brunson on defense, and I think they're gonna start shooting it worse. They already have. I think it's gonna continue, and that's gonna give the Cavs a chance. But it's gonna come down to coaching. It's gonna come down to adjustments. It's gonna come down to substitutions, timeout. Every little thing matters in this series because the Knicks are the better team. They are the I don't know if they're better coach, but I would say more disciplined team and more put together. So it's really going to be the Knicks series to lose. It already is, and hopefully the Cavs get more chances. But once you're right there in that game, you can't let that go. You have to win that. That's a must-win game,
Do you think that was, and I'm going to,
especially in New York.
I think also, I don't think Mike Brown's not, I don't think he's not a bad coach. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he made some dumbass decisions too, but I think Kenny Atkinson really wanted to see who was the worst coach out of the two of them. I think he proved it last night. I think you're right. It's a series for the Knicks to lose. They're right now shooting 37% from three. Cavs are shooting 26%, 9 for 34, which you just can't do.
Yeah.
Man, I hope the Cavs can come out with something. I know they're a different team at home than they are on the road, but I think when you lose up by 22,
Yeah.
it's kind of a big loss. It's bigger than, oh, we lost by 3 points.
Or like we lost by 20.
We lost by 20. It's like, damn.
But we got next game. But
Yeah.
no, that carries into the
You
next
had
game.
this game, and I just feel like it's such a gut punch, especially if you're in the playoffs too, and you choke, and you know, oh, we had this game won. I think it just takes the air out of your breath. You know what I mean? The air out of your stomach.
Yeah,
and I think it
for sure.
deflates you, and I think they're losing right now by 16 points. Do you think this? Part of me feels like the Cavs team may be dead.
I mean, that's definitely a big punch right there in the game one. But I just gotta hope that Donovan can help lead this team because I don't know. I just hope so. I just hope so. That's all. I don't know if it's possible, but I hope so.
Hope and believe and pray is what they say. Now on to the next series. The Spurs versus Oklahoma City Thunder. Defending champs taking on the young, spry, hungry Spurs team who beat them 4-1 in the regular season series, which a lot of people, like you said, does the regular season really matter? Well, game one, Wemby comes out dropping 45, 20-plus rebounds, 3 blocks, looking like the man on a mission. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets the MVP. Wemby already hates Chet. Now you throw that in his face? Wemby, MVP versus the best player in the world. That's how I felt the game was, and Wemby showed it. Game one, winning in double overtime. They were down by 3. I was like, oh, shit, this game's over. He pulls up 35 feet. 10 years earlier, Steph Curry made that same shot that silenced the Thunder crowd. Then Wemby pulls up, bang. That kid has some balls. His kahunas were hanging down low saying, this is my city. Next game, Thunder versus Spurs. I thought Thunder really were going to win this game. To be honest, I don't see them going down 2-0. They did. Harper goes down for the Spurs. J-Dub goes down for the Thunder. Who is the bigger? And Wemby has only 20 points, and the Thunder decided to put Isaiah Hartenstein, who was holding him like a baby gorilla holding on to his mama. He was grabbing him, groping him, and everything. He couldn't get away from him, and I think that's the key. And hopefully they start calling fouls a little bit because game one, Wemby had the space. He was moving left to right, because Wemby really can guard all 5 players on the floor at once. He really can. But if you're holding him like that and they're not calling it, it's so hard. And driving lanes come open. When Wemby's on the court, Thunder's average shot is 16.3 feet away. When he's off the court, Thunder's average shot is 12.3 away. Mason, where do they go? What is the game plan? Who do you think wins this series? Just what are your thoughts?
Wait, you want to also like my opinion on if Harper or J Dub are a bigger loss?
Yes, and that one. Who do you think was a bigger loss? Is a bigger loss Harper for the Spurs or J Dub for the Thunder?
I'm gonna say Harper just because Fox is out currently.
Oh, and do you think now Fox comes back?
I mean, I didn't even see him get hurt, so I don't know how serious it is, but it's got to be really serious if they're holding him out right now, because I don't know how many more. They're going to get more chances for sure in the following years, but I don't know how much longer they're going to have Fox for. So I think, I think that's obviously the biggest loss, but I think that Harper is more important than J-Dub because they got more scorers. They got like Chet that can make his own shot. They got AJ Mitchell that can make his own shot. So I think they have more players that can do that. But the Stephon Castle, as we've seen, he's just not a true point guard. Like he's very turnover prone.
20 turnovers in the first two games.
Yeah, I mean I've never seen anything like that. But he's a great player, great defender, great everything else. But when you don't have a true point guard, which he isn't, I mean that's just what's going to happen when you force him into that role. But for the rest of the series, I think it goes six, and I'm taking Thunder, even if J Dub, Fox, and Harper are all out the rest of the series. I think just that one game with Wemby, I don't think we're gonna see that again. I just don't. I don't think the Thunder ever gonna like you said, give him that much space. They're gonna give him that many opportunities to score, and Wemby's supporting cast, Vassell, Champagny, they're gonna have to start hitting Keldon Johnson. They're gonna have to start hitting a lot of shots for them to be in these games because the Thunder have a more consistent and I would say more skilled offense. So we'll see, but we'll see what Wemby does.
Did you say Thunder in six?
Thunder in six.
Thunder in six. Well, I hate to break it to you. I do think the regular season matters a little bit. Thunder are the more talented team. Thunder don't
Yeah,
have.
but only two of those games they play like the real players. The third one it was all
Yeah, it was all reserves, but okay. So
so you can
3-1,
win
three
games.
to one. Excuse me, 3-1, 3-1. That's what they won. That'd be a normal regular season. They played five, which is more than anything. Listen, at the end of the day, who is the best player on that floor?
It's obviously Wemby.
I think the best player wins this series. I know what you're saying. Thunder, defending champs, they got the depth. I think Fox will come back. You gotta play. You have to. I
Why
don't we'll
would you
wait till we
sit him
see.
out two games?
Because I think no, listen, because
I just don't.
game one, I understand he's hurt. He can't play. But you win game one. I think if they lost game two, he has to come back. But I think when they won game one, they said, "Hey, you take a breather. We'll go back home. If we go back 1-1, because it's a series, it's not a series until you steal one. That's the
Yeah,
name
that's what
of the
they
game.
said. So it's a series
You got to
after
steal
game
one."
one.
And I think he comes back in game three. And whatever Harper's injury is, if it's not too bad, I think Harper will come back. And that guard play is just so much. I think the Spurs, their coach is great. Apparently, last series, after they lost by 4-2 to the Timberwolves, Greg Popovich figured out the Thunder in one game. Greg Popovich still will help out. Or not Thunder, excuse me, the Timberwolves in one game. And they end up blown out by 40.
Popovich, not their coach.
I know it's not their coach, but he helped out. That's what I've heard.
Oh,
He's
really?
still
Oh,
he's still
because
with
he's their like president of
yes.
operations. Okay, yeah.
Popovich. That's the rumor. For my sources, which is social media.
Yeah, what's
Um,
sources?
but I just think the coaching staff. I love the guys they have. I love who they are. I love the Spurs team. I think the Spurs win in six. I think the Spurs come out game 3 firing on all cylinders and take them down. You don't think Wemby knows what happened. Wemby's going to fix something, and I believe they're going to get it done. I believe the Thunder lost 14 games. 4 of those games, yes, one of them was the G Leaguers. I don't give a shit. 14 games, and 4 of those games were to one team. Somebody has a formula. Thunder really haven't been tested in this playoffs. And you know what? If Wemby does, and the hatred he has for Chet hasn't done shit. Chet shot 37 for 38 from lower, I believe, under the rim
Yeah, they won't
in the
even put
paint
him on Wemby. They
when
won't even put
when
him
they
on
before
Wemby.
they played. Then he shoots about 30 something percent when Wemby's there. They won't put him on Wemby. He had that one good block after Caruso was on him. Wemby is owning Chet in this series. I believe Chet had 13 the other game. Most of the time it wasn't when Wemby was on the floor. Spurs are minus 19 when he's off the floor, plus 17 when he's on the floor. I just think the Spurs team is going to get it done. I think Wemby's a younger kid. I think he's a younger guy, and they're going to start playing him in heavy minutes.
Yeah, they're definitely the best when they play him in heavy minutes. But he is most impactful player, but he still is one player, and you're gonna need those role players, those shooters to start hitting shots. Maybe they just need to be at home to start hitting those shots, but if they don't, and Fox doesn't come back till later, it might be too little, too late. If Fox does come back at home, I think it could go 7. I still want to take the Thunder. I think they're too much of a winning team.
All right. I don't not agree with you. I just don't think Alex Bruce is going to put up another 30-point game.
He won't, but I think the other players will be fine. Is J-Dub like do we know anything about him?
His hamstrings hurt again.
And the
It's
same
it's
the
it's
same
been
with
3 times this season. I think J-Dub's done.
but it's the same with Harper, right? Hamstring?
I don't know. I don't. If you could look it up for me right now, I believe it was. But I would take the guy that has only had 1 hamstring injury this season versus the guy that's had 3. That's a big difference. Um, but man, I really like the Spurs team. And this, I'm gonna tell you, the Thunder don't beat them now. They're not gonna beat them again. This Spurs team is the youngest they'll be. They're the purest they'll be. They're the babies, and they're coming out to play. And this is what I love about them. And I guess you know what? If the Thunder beat the Spurs, I think they beat the hell out of the Knicks. But if the Spurs win, I don't know if they beat the hell out of the Knicks because I think it's just like an emotional dump. Like you just beat Chet, you just beat the MVP, you hate those guys, and I think they'll just be emotionally drained. And I'm gonna pick the Spurs still as my champion, but I think it'll be a much harder series to win. And I think that emotional dump they have will just carry into the next round. And I think they'll just blow it. Like there's a chance they just blow everything and just blow their gas tank and not be able to get it done. And I just think this, but I do believe the Spurs win. But I could see them totally just running out and just being drained and everything being sucked out of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is the worst the Spurs are going to be because Wemby's just going to get better. I think they're just going to build more around, and they're really going to buy in because it's going to be more so like their time. Like this year, they weren't ready to be win it all. I don't think so, at least. Harper's still young. He's got another year.
He's a rookie. We have to remember Harper is a rookie.
Harper is a rookie, and Castle's, I think, 3rd year. So very young. They're going to keep improving. I think both teams have a chance of beating Knicks, but I think the Thunder have a better chance of beating Knicks, like you said. Um, what else? What else? What else did you say? Like,
I just think if the Spurs won, there's a chance because it's just an emotional dump. It's just like, you know what I mean?
the Knicks could win.
Think the Knicks have a higher chance beating him just also awfully like just like an emotional dump. Like
Yeah.
if you want to beat if me and you are going against each other and I hate you and I just want to beat you. I really don't hate you, but if I don't you feel like if I went to go play like a guy like Jacob Menifee next in the next round that I don't have any hatred for, that's like okay, I want to win the finals, but I just got done playing a hard 6 games with you and I just like was like, oh my God, finally I beat this shit out of my rival Mason. And I go play a guy like Jacob, who I might be better than, but I just don't, you know what I mean? It's just like a dump. It's a mental toll on you.
I don't know. I think maybe for like the first 2 or 3 games, but I think it's just too long of a series that those emotions don't run on long enough. So I don't know. That's my opinion.
That's fair.
But I do think the Knicks could be both teams, and I don't see the Spurs beating the Knicks.
Who's your champion?
Thunder, still Thunder.
Still a
Even
Thunder?
without J-Dub, I still think they're good enough.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
I guess you're wearing your Dirty Bird shirt, the Falcons. What do you feel about Aaron Rodgers coming back? I've been retiring. This is last season. Are you a little sad? Or you not care? Or how do you feel? You think the Steelers are gonna come ride the wave, or you think they're just gonna go 10-7?
Same old Steelers. I mean, A-Rod can only do so much. Bro's literally walking out there. He's too old right now, but they needed him bad because if he didn't come back, they were stuck with Drew Aller or Will Howard, and both those guys are not NFL quarterbacks, in my opinion, whatsoever. So, in order for them to get a winning record, which they're always trying to get in that tough-ass division they're in, they would need Rodgers to come back. But I mean, I think they'll have a winning record if Rodgers plays almost every game. But there's no competition there. Division's too good. I mean, the Ravens are so much better.
Mm-hmm. About the Bengals.
I don't know. They still didn't really fix their defensive problem.
No, they traded it for Dexter Lawrence. They didn't even have a first round
Oh yeah,
draft
you're
pick.
right. Yeah.
And then you got the Cleveland Browns. Very sneaky team. You never know what they're gonna do.
Or their O-line. Their O-line's still bummy.
Oh, I know. But
Bro
let's
just gets killed out there.
I know Burrow is really the new Andrew Luck. You really think about it. He's going to retire by like 28
At least Burrow made a
Super Bowl. Yeah, that was the most diabolical run I've ever seen to a Super
crazy
Bowl.
run.
I'm not a big Joe Burrow fan just because he went to LSU, but hey. Now let's jump in to UFC 328. Probably the biggest upset of the year, a top 5 upset, if anything. First, in our co-main event, we had young Joshua Van TKOing Tatsuya Taira in round 5, putting on an absolute masterclass, looking like a lightning out of the bottle. Everyone said, I believe the odds were favored towards Taira. And Van, I was a believer in Van. I thought Van was going to get it done. He won the belt kind of by it. Not kind of. It was a dumb way. Pantoja catches on,
Straight luck.
breaks his elbow, and that's how you win. Everyone was like, oh, he's a fake champ. But this young kid, Van, in round 2, he's getting taken down a little bit round 1, round 2-ish, gets up, and boom, drops him hard on his ass. I thought Tyra was done. I don't know how the little man stayed up. He kept fighting. I don't know if he could see anything. He was just going and going, and he was just getting punched in the face. Like his eyes had to be swelled shut. Everything. Like just bruises. It just looked like an absolute beating, and he fought to it. And at times I was like, oh my God, Tatsuya Taira maybe can still fight through it. But Van put it on him. And then round 5, Tatsuya Taira, even though he didn't agree with the stoppage, turns his back, signaling, hey, I'm kind of done, and Van just took it to him. Mason, what do you think? Do you think Van's the new flyweight king? Is he going to rule the flyweights? Are you excited? Or do you think it's just Pantoja's belt and he's just keeping it warm for him? Mason, your thoughts?
I love Van. I think he's very exciting, crazy fast striker, and with crazy power as well. I still think that he didn't deserve that over Pantoja. I think Pantoja's the better fighter. I think Pantoja will take it back from him. But I was also surprised with Taira. Like, I didn't realize how tough that dude was. I mean, I'd watched him a couple times before, but he kind of handled those other guys really easily, and they were easy matchups for him. But, I mean, Van was just killing him the whole time. And I think it was an early stoppage just because of what Taira had gone through in the previous rounds and what they let him fight through. But I don't think he was really going to do much, even if he got back up and they let him keep fighting. So Van's great. I think he's going to be in that title contention for a while. But, I mean, Pantoja's getting older, but I still think he's the better fighter. And I think like you said, he's keeping it warm right now.
Yeah, I think Pantoja's daddy. I think he still is. Pantoja goes out and loses the same way by breaking his elbow again. I think he's just cursed.
Yeah, he's actually cursed.
I think Pantoja. I think Van has him in the boxing, maybe, but I think it's really close. But I think Pantoja's just gonna grapple him and strangle him. That's what he does to everybody. He just is a killer.
And Tyra was supposed to be able to do that, but he wasn't.
But I don't think Tyra was Van. Not Van. Excuse me, Pantoja.
Yeah, he's obviously but
Yeah.
like that's what he was his best at.
And I think Van, he's a dangerous guy. I don't see it. But I think Pantoja's going to kind of just mollywop the floor with
I
him.
mean, isn't Pantoja's like in the conversation of flyweight GOAT?
Yes, but I will not say he is. I have to give it to Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson.
For sure.
And I think even then he got robbed in his thing. Also, speaking of robberies, if that's what you want to call it, then I scored it the way the judges did. Main event. Khamzat Chimaev minus, I believe, 500 plus, or excuse me, minus 600 plus 500, 450, whatever you want to call it. Sean Strickland coming out, teeping and jabbing his way to a split decision, 48-47 across the boards. Two judges had it for him. One judge had it for Khamzat Chimaev, who was undefeated at the time, now 15-1. The Chechnyan Wolf was defeated. Mason, what are your thoughts? What was going through your mind during this upset? It's probably the biggest upset of the year. And Sean Strickland now owns that one and the one over the last style bender, which he beat a couple years ago to reclaim the gold. Do you think Strickland will keep his belt, or do you think he will lose it again? And where does Boers go from here?
I mean, I was crazy. My previous prediction on this was Khamzat was going to have his way with Strickland on the ground, and that just didn't happen. I mean, Khamzat has done that with everyone previously, and Strickland hasn't always been the best ground defender, but in this, he just looked different on every level. Plus 400 underdog, I'm pretty sure he was, which I think was a good line. I think it was a good line personally, but I mean that's just crazy. I mean, it just depends on, as you're judging the fight, what you care more about, like takedowns or a little bit of like jabbing, because he was jabbing Khamzat the whole fight. Khamzat couldn't do anything, couldn't avoid it whatsoever. His face looked all messed up. But I mean, I think it goes both ways. But I don't know. I think Dana would have rather had Khamzat be the champ, right? So I don't know, but I like Sean Strickland, so I'm happy for him.
Who'd you have it scored for? What did you score it?
I thought Khamzat did enough
You thought Khamzat won?
because he was the champ. So it was like you always have to beat the champ. You can't just be like neck and neck with the champ and win that.
So what'd you have it going? What was your scorecards going into round 5? 3-1 Khamzat, or did you have it going in 2-2?
No, 2-2.
I thought Strickland won that 5th round, clearly.
No, I had 2-1. No,
3-1. 3-1. You had it 3-1. Well, my initial thoughts were, damn, he got taken down on round 1. But that's what he said. He said, I'm going to get taken down early.
And he battled.
And round 1, he got taken down, and he didn't panic. He just, kind of carried his weight. Round 2, he stuffed the first takedown. And then the second one, Khamzat laid down on his back. The wolf, the howl. He laid down like a puppy, like, rub my belly, come here. Strickland, I was jumping up and down in my underwear because I thought he was about to finish the fight. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I cannot believe Sean Strickland is champion again in the big 2026. My favorite is Pro's fight press conference. He was like, man, I'm an ugly MFer. Like, I'm really that ugly. And he did. His face was all messed up. No one gave this guy a chance. I think I had the delusion where, I felt like Sean Strickland was going to win. I just didn't, there's just some things you don't want to say. It's like Mercer.
I mean, I know why you thought that. Just because,
I like him.
You don't like him, though.
I do like Sean Strickland.
You liked when he beat up Izzy?
Okay, that's different. That's a few fights. I didn't like Pereira when he knocked out Izzy, but I love Pereira now.
Because he knocked him out, so you have to, cheer for them. Because Izzy supports him now. I don't know. You can't tell me like you wanted Sean Strickland to win that
Why would I want Khamzat to win? He fights maybe once a year. He doesn't speak.
because
All he says, I kill everybody.
Sean's a boring fighter. At least Khamzat finishes fights.
Khamzat, the DDP fight was 25 minutes of him dry humping another man. Are we being serious? Like
Yeah.
25 minutes. That was the most boring fight. And I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I still didn't enjoy that fight. Sean fought his
throwing
way.
him around,
And I
bro.
understand Khamzat was coming forward. He was coming at him. And I think a lot of people can score it when you're getting backed up by another man. Like just forward progression. You were just
Yeah,
and
I mean,
but
that's
I think
what-
Sean just kept pow, pow, pow,
Yeah.
pow. And his right, he said his shoulder was messed up. That's why he wasn't even throwing his right hand.
I saw all the injuries he had. It's
But
crazy.
Khamzat now wants to move up to 205, which I don't think will be a great idea. I don't understand that. Did he get too big? This was a rough weight cut. Do you think we got baited by this hype, this beef they had? Do you think it was real beef? Because in the cage, they were like, Khamzat kicked him in the nuts before the actual press conference saying he wanted to kill him. But in the cage, they not fist bumped once, they fist bumped twice with all that security. It looked like Sean Strickland made the fight like a sparring match. That's what it really looked like.
He makes every fight look like that, bro.
But he controlled the pace. Not the DDP fight.
Yeah, but it's just saying that's not entertaining. Watching a sparring match?
Listen, I'd rather watch a guy fight 3 times a year for the belt and make it look decently entertaining.
Well, do you think who's he gonna fight? Imavov next or DDP? Who is it?
I think he fights Imavov, and he beat Imavov, and hopefully it's entertaining.
That should be a great fight.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I think he loses to DDP. I think DDP just has his number.
Okay, and then let's say DDP fights Khamzat again.
And DDP is fun to watch. I love him just throwing his arms around.
He's an idiot. He's the best shit fighter in the world.
Yes.
Yes,
sure.
you want everyone that says whenever like people
He doesn't throw real strikes.
Yeah, whenever people like you want to move forward when a guy's hurt. This is all he does the whole time. Just like when he just throw. And I'm not a striker, but that's all he does. So it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Eventually, and a lot of times like Tony Ferguson, there's those guys that are weird. Tony Ferguson was really weird. Like, grab some dust, throw the sand. Like, remember, have you seen the clip where he picks up like fake sand and throws it at Gaethje and then like throws a strike? He's just weird. But DDP may, depending on how his next fight goes, who's he fighting next, or does he not have a fight?
Not sure.
Some of those guys get figured out, and once they get figured out, they're done. And that could happen with DDP. I think Sean is going to remain champion till the end of 2026, and then we'll see from there.
Do you think he would beat Khamzat again in a rematch?
Yes.
Well, Khamzat's given up, hasn't he?
Yeah, Khamzat's given up. He ran and cried. But I guess just that was one of the greatest upsets I've ever seen.
Crazy upset. And, I mean, people saying, oh, robbery. No, those are just Khamzat glazers that don't know. They've never seen the dude lose, so they were like, don't know how to react. I edit that.
Well, let's now talk about in, I believe, less than 4 weeks, UFC Freedom 250. All the fighters on that card. Mason, what is your favorite fight? And I guess we'll talk about the championship fights, but what is your non-favorite championship fight? What do you think about the gear? And what do you think about Sean O'Malley's comments about Alex Pereira? He looks like he has a BBL now as a heavyweight. And what do you think about Josh Hotkett saying Elite Taporia couldn't find his wife in Miami after she cheated on him?
I'm so excited for this. This is probably the second most UFC 300. I was most excited for that one. This is definitely a second for me. I don't know what am I most excited for? I'd probably say Pereira gone.
Non-title fight.
Oh, non-title fight. That's interim though. Okay, whatever. I'd say Hokett Lewis, I guess, because
Really? I was going to say the Bo Nickel fight. I'm kidding. No.
Yeah,
no.
no
Why is Bo
no
Nickel
one
on
wants
this
to
card?
watch that
Get
shit,
Bo
bro.
Nickel's trash ass off my
No
card.
one wants to watch that. Okay, yeah, Hokett and Lewis, just because it's gonna end in a KO. It's gonna be a short fight, and that's entertaining to watch, in my opinion.
It's so hard for me to say. I don't want to see Derek Lewis lose, but I really want to see Hokit get a title shot after the shit he talked to Alex Pereira. My favorite photo is Sean O'Malley. It was him saying low cortisol versus high, and it's Sapori and Alex Pereira standing up and Hokit yelling, and he's just sitting there like this, just letting it go. That is my favorite picture from that press conference, and I really do hope Hokit gets the chance. Hope Pereira wins and gets to fight Hokit and just knocks him out, to be honest with you. I think that has to be my also favorite fight, and I'm just excited. Okay, I guess let's go. Who are your predictions for the two title fights? You think Alex Pereira beats Cyril Gahn or no? BBL Alex Pereira.
I don't know. Ciro's looked really good in his past fights. Probably the best he's ever looked. But I mean, Pereira's a different breed. So I think if Gahn keeps on getting his eye pokes in, might have a chance. But I don't know. We haven't seen Alex fight in what, a year?
He fought in September. So close to a year.
Close to a year.
We're
So this is
getting-
probably the
coming up on
biggest
it.
time he's had in between fights. But I think Gahn's looking the best. I think I don't know, because they're gonna want it to end in a finish. I don't think Gahn's gonna finish Pereira. I'm gonna say Pereira. I'm gonna say Pereira gets it back.
Pereira gets the belt and becomes the first 3-division champion, never done before. So you think he makes history and becomes the first 3-weight division champion? I could see
I
it.
do. I think if there's anyone to do it, he would be the one.
I think this new weight class needs a
The
new
fact
king.
that he was able to cut down to
80, yeah, it still is surprising.
what they said, he walks around at like 240.
I know that's your weight. I can't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
almost
can't. Believe.
there.
I agree with you. I think Pereira's skill. I want to see how the weight does with his speed. Does it really slow him down that much? Because Gahn is has heavyweight, but Pereira I think is the better kickboxer out of the two of them. And I think Pereira is just gonna, and then just knock him out and say Shama probably and do some emote on the White House
I
lawn.
mean, we think that on every one of Pereira's fights, and how has that gone recently though?
They knocked out Ankalaev. He lost to
Not that one dude,
and Roundtree.
bro.
So
Are
do
we
you think
serious?
Pereira's overrated?
I think at this point he might, just because he has so much aura, and he's really fun to watch.
100%. Okay. Now, main event. Justin, the highlight Gaethje interim champion, face off against Ilya Divorce Topuria. Who do you think wins this fight, Mason? Even it's not really a question, but
Ilya divorced him. I mean, this is like just how I looked at that Sean Strickland fight. Like, I think Ilya is guaranteed to win, just like how I thought Khamzat was guaranteed to win. So, USA White House card, maybe Gaethje just has a different fire in his belly and somehow like makes this a real fight. But
really is like
Ilya
England.
is amazing. I've never seen a guy like him that small with that much power and that much precision on every strike. He's he's well rounded. I don't see anyone beating Topuria. I think the only way he loses is he has to go up in weight and he fight Islam. That's the only way I think.
Yeah, after Islam loses to Carlos Prates. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Um, I think Ilya Topuria will knock out maybe the first death we've seen. Ilya Topuria is a man on a mission. Wife cheated on him. That's a dangerous man. And now you get to put your hands on another guy. And Justin Gaethje, not a mean dude. If it was Patty Pimblett, I think for sure Patty probably would die. But Gaethje's, I just don't see him winning. I don't see the Homer Simpson winning. But like you're saying, U.S. Revolution. The U.S. was not supposed to beat England in the war at all. We were not supposed to take our land. It's Freedom 250 on the White House. The most American thing you could do is to go knock out the guy you're not supposed to. I could see it happening by one of these wonky strikes he catches him with. But I just don't know. But I agree. I think
I don't
Ilya.
think Ilya will let himself. I mean, he does have a really good chin though. Ilya does, but I mean, Gaethje's just. I don't know. I don't think Gaethje deserved this fight personally. I don't know what you think, but I think he.
No, Armin deserved the
Yeah,
fight.
but Arman also doesn't fight, so.
Well, I don't think he should fight contenders. I think he should have got a title shot. And right now he's on Neon Stream, just making
Yeah,
fun of
but
him the
bro, he
whole
hasn't
time.
fought in like 2 years.
He fought last year. He beat Dan Hooker. He also broke Dan Hooker's nose at the weigh-ins when he headbutted him. So
Yeah.
I don't know. He's brought it. If you're gonna go off of followers, Armin's bringing a lot of attention. Track followers. So I think at this point you got to give Armin a new title shot, and we'll just wait and see. I'm excited. That's probably the biggest, like you said, biggest card since UFC 300. I know it's probably the one-time only thing for the USA. It's for Trump's birthday. I believe it's his 80th or 81st. Man, old guy's getting up there. But
Losing
Mason,
his marbles.
what?
Trump's losing his marbles.
No comment on that. Mason, do you have any inspirational like words or anything you want to say to anybody out there?
No, I don't. I mean, actually, if Sean Strickland can beat Khamzat Chimaev, I think anyone can do anything.
I, you know what? I think that is right. I think, tough times make people grow the most, and I think they bring out the best in people. And I think sometimes you just got to learn how to move forward and be the best version of you each and every day and figure out what is right for you. And take a day with a grain of salt and know that you only have today to live and that you're not in control really of anything. Now, my famous quote for my favorite guy and the favorite role model in the world, what Pat McAfee says, is be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Literally, or just as a phrase, you could take it as it is. But just saying one nice thing to somebody, making someone's day, really may change somebody's life. You never know. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming into town, coming to Alpharetta to film this. We have Jacob Menifee laying down on the couch right now in person. Mason, I really appreciate it. I did have a lot of fun on this episode, and I thank you for doing this thing in the summer with me. I know you're a busy guy doing your electrical stuff, electrocuting yourself a little bit. How's that been?
It's been good. It's been good. Learning a lot. Very different, but it's been good. Well, thank you for having me on. I've been enjoying all these episodes we've been putting together, and I hope we just keep growing the pod and people keep loving what we're doing.
100%. Mason, stay off the floor just as much as Shay. They're saying, I believe this is episode 7 or episode 8. Thank you guys so much. If you have any thoughts or comments, leave them down below. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.